Have you consented?
I give my consent.
I give my consent.
Yes
You
means
get
yes.
some of my paintings from my house behind me for these.
You should.
Okay.
Super good. We had to move the podcast to Friday as we're all working men again.
Pretty keen for a Wednesday, but anyway, happy days, man. Everyone's got their gyms open.
I know it's. I just finished the class. I love this first week of running the gym again after lockdown. The enthusiasm from me is just all-time high. I've basically I haven't called anyone a name for 5 days.
That's impressive.
One day was Cup Day, but it's pretty good.
How many horses died on Cup Day this year, Si?
I don't know, but if you don't like glue, if you don't like horse racing, stop using glue. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes. Oh, horse. Isn't it also pet food?
Oh,
I'm happy to get rid of my dog. If it helps, I'll get rid of the dog.
isn't that what Alistair Overeem claimed got him big in that time between? Wasn't he just on a horse meat diet? Nice.
For the soul.
So he used to fight at 205 pounds, right? Which is what, 93 kilos?
Something around there, 2.2 pounds to a kilo. Sure, close enough.
Yeah.
And then he was cutting weight to make 265 pounds. So 60 pounds of lean muscle tissue.
That's that horse meat right there, man. Straight from the Melbourne Cup.
I'm going to get on that.
Kieran, how's the return been?
Fabulous. Excellent. I've been loving it. Back to normal pretty much. 96% of the ACT vaccinated. Hello.
Steve.
Yep. So
Anyway with a line.
And yeah, we're good, man. We're back at it. We've still got space restrictions. So we've got 20 people a class, and then you've got the capacity of one every 4 square meters with a cap of 100. But the gym's a little under 700 squares, so we're not going to go over the cap. We're pretty sweet there. So yeah, we're basically back to normal.
Nice. And then Andrew.
Yeah, we've just actually the first couple of weeks were a bit slow. So, but now since last week, it's really starting to come along now. So happy days, man. Happy days. And they're taking away a lot of the caps next week. So rocking and rolling, man.
Amazing. Of all places, Melbourne, the only limitation we've had is the per square meter rule. So not class caps, which we've always had before.
I don't get
They
the
had
class
funny,
cap thing.
and they've had funny rules before where you could have let's say my gym's 440 or something. You can have 100 people in here based on the one per 4 square meter rule. But they had it as you could have groups of 20 and groups of 10. This is in past reopenings. So, and the way you could do it was it was a separate class. So we could literally have 10 people and 10 people and 10 people, as long as there were separate instructions. And I understand it was the interaction thing.
That's what we do.
It's just,
that's what we've got as well. Yeah, similar.
But now we've got as long as you're within that 4 square meter thing. And then I think on the 18th of November, it jumps to do whatever. Absolutely whatever. What's that?
You got the blur, man.
Thai snacks. Anyway, all good. Happy days.
You know what you remind me of, Andrew? When I was a kid, I was 14 and I did Taekwondo. I used to have a Korean flag on my room and I just wanted to eat Korean food. And it was just and then I realized I could like something.
And you just
So my wife's Thai and my kids are half Thai. Cool.
Oh, hey, Art, how you going?
Hello, Art. Oh, can we upgrade our Parnums?
Yes. Anyway,
do this for hey mom, can we have Parnum? We've got Parnum at home.
We've got Parnum at home.
Don't even get it.
Right, man.
Do you actually not get it? Because I can help you in this.
It's a top level. It's a high tier. You need a lot of internet history.
Can we? And as we know, I'm trying to control what comes out of my mouth or my fingers at the moment. So I'm trying to be a little bit more reserved in my commentary.
Thank you, Si. We all
You really
appreciate
need,
that.
really need to control what goes into your mouth as well, judging on your.
It was good. I hit that 96 kilo mark and I've let loose again. So
Up to 100?
no. That's if I get to 100, the next up will be 350. Like, I'm not joking. It'll be like Victoria. It'll be like 10 cases, 40 cases, 500, 1,000, 2,000 cases. I'll be like that. It'll be like
Dream, believe, achieve.
Yeah.
Do you think the people, the 4 or 5 people that watch this podcast, do you think they just guess along the bar and just skip the first sort of 7 or 8 minutes until we get into the Thai boxing stuff? Or do you think people stay for the bands, the airing of grievances, the
7 or 8? We're the top fucking Muay Thai podcast in the world as per the rankings.
This is true.
On a few websites.
You reckon we're going to get that Joe Rogan money anytime soon?
Yeah.
And then we'll lose our marbles like him as well.
No. This isn't the good old days. The good old days was before the sissies took over, before podcasting, before Ultimate Fighting, those days.
Yeah.
Before Netflix, before those companies came to a head. Back when kids could ride 3-wheelers and hold shotguns. The good old days.
Good old days. Oh, yes.
And when comedians could actually take a joke about comedians.
It's funny though. I love that. It's like back on our topic last week of the golden era. It's like, it's funny that we can find a pinpoint time in history where it was like everything before that was shit. It peaked and then it went to shit again. It's like, no, but you know, the good old days was the good old days 500 years ago. It was actually funny. There's a topic the other day of the golden era again. There's a boxing trainer in Sydney, Ben Savas, yeah, who I think is very good, and I really like his opinion on stuff. He put up a thing about boxing knowledge and boxing skills, and about, like, he was saying he was putting up videos of guys in the 60s and 70s and going, these guys would get mutilated now, because there's a few Instagram boxing coaches, like there's Mustafa Boxing and Tom Yankello and stuff, who everything is like, back in the old days, everybody was this. And it's like, it's not that worked and this didn't work, but people just went, oh, we're just going to do this. Like, not how evolution works. But I think it goes to what we were saying. And it's, any sport that can't be managed, like measured, is going to be that.
Absolutely.
So boys, last week when we were talking about the upcoming fights, we didn't end up talking about Infliction, which was with Chad Collins in the main event. So Kieran, you're the only one that stays up and watches fights. Did you watch the fight?
I didn't know. So it was at the end, it was Reese Lightning who put his hand up to fight Chad. I think with the person being offered, he was just like, yeah, okay. Took the fight at, I think they said 85 kilos. For those who have been floating around for a while, you'll know Reese is just the guy who just jumps in and does fights. I think the last time I was up in Queensland for Infliction, he did boxing against Andy's boy on the Friday night, and then had a fight against one of the development guys as the main event the Saturday night after that. So Reese just likes to jump in for a bit of a smack. So
he's actually pretty skillful too, man. Like, obviously seasoned, knows his way around and stuff like that. So, but anyway, over to you again. Keep going.
Well, so that was the main event, the one that comes to mind. I didn't see it. I didn't watch the show, so I'm not sure of the other fights. I think the biggest draw card, or the main fight for that one, would have been Chad. Obviously, it was originally. Max and Chad was originally the fight to be done. As it got closer to the date, we were hoping that borders would be opened. We had to call it about 4 weeks out. Good that we did, now that Queensland borders aren't going to open until December 17, so it was never going to happen anyway. I think he went through a few opponents since then, got a last minute one. They kept dropping out, and then eventually it settled on Reese.
So respectfully of Chad's, we're all friends with him. And there was a post that he put up that Kieran, you commented on, and I commented on, about where's the balls and where's the problem with Australian Muay Thai. And again, I like Chad. He's fought on my show before. he'll fight again at some stage. But I really found that a really unfair post. I mean, you guys have fighters. I don't have Muay Thai fighters. I got boxing fighters, and I promote Muay Thai. But and my comment to him was after you commented, which was really fair, Kieran, was there's a handful of guys that we could justifiably fight him. Those guys being Ramesh, who just fought him, River Daz in Victoria. In Sydney would be Singh Payak. In Canberra, Max, which was originally scheduled. In WA would be Jordan Gottfredson, and Roy Wills is retired. I genuinely can't think of a decent match for Chad. I know the MTGP guys are going to put him with the tie they have over there. I don't know if they're the same size or what. I'm not like
Small.
Yeah, he's small. So justifiably within that way, I don't know. I don't know who could have stepped up, and guys did. Guys who, his original opponent, what was his name? Jordan Reed, I think. I don't know if he necessarily belonged in there. It was just to get a fight so Chad could have his fight. But I know it's the thing to do to put these things out on social. We do it in one way or another. But who did he expect to fight him?
There's no one anyone that stood up in Queensland to take it was just doing it for the money. And it was that's not a competitive fight. You can't, everyone's in the same position. For the past 2 years, no one's been fighting. And we have border issues, and you can't just paint everyone with the same. Man, I was really frustrated by it, because if you're going to be a professional athlete, you have to be, if you put something out there and you say it, you have to be ready to have a bit of criticism and an alternative opinion back. The fact of the matter is that your only state that realistically could have fought him was Queensland, with the exception of maybe South Australia. And there's no one really in either states that would have fought him. And that's just the fact of the matter. Like it was a bit rich, man. It kind of, I know he didn't mean it that way, but it rubbed me the wrong way for sure.
And who was protecting their record or their title? I mean, I don't know. Did they ask Tyler if Tyler would go over at 67 kilos or one of those WA boys? Like, if Damon wanted to go to 67, Damon, Tyler, those guys at 67, would he do it himself? So I don't know. I found it a little bit unfair. And I was like, again, I've negotiated weights and opponents with so many people. And, some of you, Andrew probably knows more about my matchups and negotiations than anybody else. Like, I talk to him about everything. That's how bad my life is. But he knows. So he knows the negotiations. I've had over half a kilo. And some of these same people put stuff up sometimes, and I just kind of go, who was going to do it? Like, specifically name someone that could have done it and wouldn't have.
And on the other side of it, you're a promoter. And if you're a promoter, you want to have a decent matchup. Like, I don't know, man. It was frustrating to see. I didn't see it straight away. I've been trying to stay off a bit, but when you get to a world level, what do you expect? Like, you've cleaned out your backyard. There's a few there, but I think, it was a pretty sheltered comment. I mean, that's all. I can't put it down to anything else. Just being unaware of the world that we're in at the moment, or even in the country that we're in at the moment, to say something like that obviously means that you're unaware of the situation around traveling interstate. And I think that's pretty much where I can leave it with that.
Yeah, possibly too. I think he could see the matchups that were sort of he was going to end up with, and maybe it was just a bit of a protective mechanism of saying, hey, I'll fight anyone.
Well, if you're the best in the world, of course you're going to fight anyone. Or if you're at an elite level, of course you're going to fight anyone. But if there's no other elite people in your weight division in your state, it just means you've got no fight. And I don't think there should be a fight, personally. Like, people might hate me saying that, or even he might not like that either. But what's the point in chucking a lamb in for the slaughter, man? Like, it's not part of our sport. Our sport is usually close bouts, and that's why we pride ourselves on the records we have, is because the promoters match from your first fight until your last fight evenly. And I don't feel that they're fair comments, but anyway, it is what it is.
The next fight that we had, the show that was on was Destiny. So did me and Andrew and
I watched that.
Bradford pick the result correctly? Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Like, yeah.
Jay versus Matt Webb.
Man, Jay was good. Jay looked what we were talking about in saying that if Jay comes like switched on and ready to fight, and man, Jay looked like that. I've seen Jay fight a lot, from his fights in Thailand to the ones domestically, and man, that was I feel like the most switched on I've ever seen him. Like, he looked hungry. He really looked like he wanted to, from the beginning to the end of the round, in between corners when the camera cut to him. Man, he was on, and it was just, it looked like two complete different skill levels. He just completely outclassed Matt.
Yep.
Who was in his corner?
Eastside Boxing boys. Matt McTavish, I think.
Just an apology to Mac McTavish and the Eastside Thai Boxing boys. One of our guys, Reese, is over there training, and I can imagine it's a pretty traumatic experience. So I know you guys keep saying, "Oh, it's lovely," but yeah, I'm lovely too. The first time you meet me, and it goes down. And then Jonathan Ailu versus Jonathan Tuhu.
Size on that one.
That was hard to watch.
Yeah, that was hard to watch.
I didn't expect the size to be so, like, it was massive, man. Like, but yeah, I fucked up with that one too. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer than that, because I thought the sizes were like more on par. But when you saw Jonathan in there, man, it was like, wow.
Yeah.
Just way too big, too strong.
Jonathan was able to get to like 68, 67 until a couple of years ago, but I don't think he's doing that anymore.
No.
Thick.
Yeah, thick boy.
Yeah, he was just going, for the moment they touched, he wanted to stop it. It was pretty savage, man. Step up, parry down, right elbow over the top, and big body kicks all over. It was just like one-way traffic. So unfortunate, but that's the way it goes sometimes. You don't know till they get in. So.
And then I think the other notable fight on the card was Jazzy Parr. How did that fight go, guys?
Didn't see that one.
Jazzy had it over Aaron, I think, maybe with the experience. Not Aaron. The name just escaped me now. Sorry. I remembered it last week.
Yeah, and you pinged me on it.
I remembered it last week. Yeah, Jazzy she was just a little bit stronger, quicker, just more experienced than her. So just got the dub pretty comfortably.
Yeah, and then over to Perth, there was a Muay Thai Grand Prix. Again, that's way past my bedtime of 8:45 p.m. So I did speak to Blair Smith yesterday. He said Brandon Hardcastle had a really good fight. He said he's getting really strong and really well, and his big raps on him.
Cool.
And I think the other fight, which was another WBC state title, was Moo from the Thai boxing pit. He fought a boy from, I think, AMMA. Yeah, and I think he got pushed out in the first round.
How was the girls' fight? Do you know? It's a girl from Northern Territory.
Allegra.
This girl, Allegra. Yeah, for that.
I think just overwhelmed. It's the weight. Megan's not a 60-kilo fighter.
Okay.
And I think that weight just overwhelmed her. I remembered reading on her Facebook, it was the first 8 counts Megan has ever received in her career from Allegra. Allegra's
super strong, man.
Super strong, right? And at 60 kilos, and I mean, Si would know, he's had Megan on over that way. And I mean, Megan, I think could make sort of 56. You know, she by no means, she's not even big at 57, in my opinion. So at 60, I think it was just the sheer, I would have said, I didn't get to watch it. I would have said that Megan was by far and away the more technical fighter, but I reckon it was probably just Allegra's like strength and power that got her over the line.
Yeah. It was actually interesting having a chat to Blair. I haven't spoken to him for a while, but you know, their next domination, which I think is November 27th, is a half Muay Thai, half MMA show in the cage. And, you know, if you know if you know Blair, you know that's, they'd have to be squeezed into a position to be forced to do that. And he just said, he goes, everyone's basically now fought everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really like, I mean, for Perth, like they could get Queenslanders over, but they'd have to literally fly half a card from all the way across Queensland to WA for a show. And they just get into that point, and where Andy and I are matchmaking now, matchmaking within a availability of 2 states is getting hectic, absolutely hectic.
But yeah, then I think there were. Hey, did you guys see Jimmy Vermont fought again last week?
Really?
Yeah, man. Dubai.
Oh yeah, I think it was then.
Yeah, man.
Who did he fight?
I forgot. It just clicked then when we were talking about it. Jimmy Vernon, he got a win on the Supercon November 1st. He fought, I think it must have been a local boy. Oh, is that fucking phone again? Oh, sorry.
What do you want? Who gave you this number?
Just sign the membership forms and
anyway, go online, man. I don't fucking speak to
This is the man who complains about Jim support.
He won. Yeah, he won. But he's going to go again. Oh no, he's not going again. I got my French people mixed up. We can go on to the next.
No, well, the next MTGP France card that they've announced looks solid as. So Jotvich is on that again, and Hamza is on that too, which will be that's a really good looking card. I wish they started to do some sort of streaming or something so we can actually watch some of these fights.
I was thinking more the Yusuf versus Liam Nolan this weekend. Yeah,
that'd be a good one. Yusuf will be considerably bigger than Liam.
That's what I would have thought too.
You'd have thought, because Liam was fighting as low as what, like.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway. Good fight. I like Liam, but I feel like Yusuf would just be too big for him.
And Yusuf's definitely not budging on weight. I've tried to get him out a couple of times when Toby was still around, a 74 kilo, and they basically said, oh, you can do like 72.5 to 72.73 or something, which was maybe the people between were confusing it, but they're like, yeah, no, he's not doing 74. So
yeah, right.
Yeah, so that's it. Andy, how's the matchmaking for Siam to Sydney coming along?
Good, man.
I noticed I announced the girls' fight. You got a bit hectic yesterday. It's like, oh, I better post my girls' fight.
Yeah.
Don't wait.
No.
If we were in the same state, you would have received 16 death threat phone calls.
Man, I've been waiting for it, and then I was like, fuck, because I the algorithm seems to work better for me to announce them anywhere around 8 or 9 p.m. So finally I got all this stuff together from Will.
I don't let big tech control what I post, Andrew. So I put it out there when it is.
Oh, do you?
And I just see you just decided what words match you. Martin, Moy, you. I'll just post something similar. What's
Yeah, so, we run a gender-friendly event, so our main event will be a free female event.
Mine might be as well, so just relax, bro. And anyway,
the semi-main now that we've got, pretty excited, well, not pretty, I'm really excited, is Cruz versus our Korean boy Kim. So big test for Kim's first fight. Good test for Cruz actually as well. Obviously working in the gym with Kim since he's been here, and it's pretty slick and quick, and southpaw versus orthodox. But I mean, Cruz switches between the two, so I can't wait, man. That's going to be a sick one. And then you've got a few pros now creeping through on the undercard, so you'll start to see them all come out very soon, which is good. So
what's where are you doing the show now?
We're outdoors, so just to get around. I'm not around it, just so I don't have to fuck around with all the indoor issues. Outdoors, there's no restrictions really. So we're doing it actually in the Gladesville Gym car park. We've got permission to take over the joint. Got a big ring in there with the tarp and everything going over the top to protect against the sun and the rain. Might be a bit windy, but we're just going to go for it, make the tickets very reasonable, run one price for the day. And we've got juniors in the morning. At lunchtime, sorry, which will be nice and hot. And then as we get into the afternoon, just push through from development day to amateurs and then the pros at sunset. So I can't wait. If everything goes according to plan, then it's going to be a real good vibe hanging out there. Kind of, hopefully it'll be kind of like the old days of standing up on the hill at the footy and a couple of cans and watching sport in the sun with tunes cranking, man.
So will you then have lighting underneath there?
Yeah, we just got the bodgy floodlights, I think. Just depends on what rig we get on the day. So
yeah, nice.
Yeah, but sunset's at 8, so hopefully we'll be done by 8. That's the goal. We want it like at sunset, so it goes right in the fighters' eyes.
Are you allowed to have alcohol, or no? You won't be able to get an alcohol license. Can you get an alcohol bar or something? Or
no, well, actually, a distillery / bar has opened up next door to our gym.
Oh,
God. So we've been in talks with them, and they're going to be able to cater for the event, whether it's dine in or take away. It'll be cans only and BYO. Maybe put those Coca-Cola, fake Coca-Cola stubby holders over the top of your cans and bring it along and have a good time.
That's sick. That's awesome.
I can't wait, man.
Let me make my traditional empty promise.
I was going to say, or maybe.
What's the date of it?
Sunday, December 12th.
We've got our we're scheduled to have our Muay Thai Victoria event that day. But I do want to come to Sydney the night before because I think that's the night of the Gallon fight.
Ooh.
And
the night on Saturday night.
Yeah. So I do want to come up to that. I think there's a couple of Victorian names going to be popping up on that announcement soon. So I don't know. I've got to balance out my hatred for Sydney and you and my desire to watch fighting somehow.
Yeah, I know. Oh, fuck. We got the same problem going down there.
Yeah, you love Melbourne.
Not anymore.
Calm down. So it's going to be an adjustment seeing Aram after 2 years. I haven't been exposed to his dulcet tones for a while, so I'm worried my
much more fluent now.
My translation skills. It's not in his SMSs he sends me.
Lynn's lived in Wollongong, so he's got that mad Aussie accent now.
Twang now. He's got that twang.
G'day, mate. And then I've just started putting out fights for December 4th.
Yeah.
The plan was to do 8 5x3 round fights. One of the fights didn't come to fruition, so we've got 7. And then as much as I've tried by guilting, bribing, significantly increasing fight purses, there's one fighter I can't get over the line for a 5-rounder. So
we haven't been involved in those discussions yet.
Sorry?
We haven't been involved in those.
You would have just done it. It's
perfect.
So 7 fights, and then during the day, the Root Show. Now that we've got Muay Thai Victoria's established, so I just made a call to all the fighters, even the first timers fighting on Roots. They're going to fight 3-minute rounds. So pulling the pin out completely on the 2-minute round fights, going completely pro. And then the goal is from Rebellion in February to have all the fights for Rebellion as 5-rounders until I end up with one of those cards where I've got 16 fights. And
I love it, man, but it's just too hard.
Yeah.
Because half an hour a fight, you can only realistically fit, 8 fights max. Yeah.
It was funny though, like last night, I hope it didn't come off as self-congratulatory because it's not just obviously me. It's been what's happened in Victoria. But I remember when Rebellion 1 was like, we're going to do no shin pads. And in some states and wherever you might be listening, this might not be a thing. Everyone was like, wow, people aren't going to want to fight, their first couple of fights without shin pads. And then you asked and they did it. And Rebellion 3, I wanted to do a only full Thai show. And Matty Reed turned around and goes, good luck. It's not going to get supported. And we did it. And now virtually all the Muay Thai shows in Victoria are just full Thai. We don't really ever see Mod Thai anymore, except some of the kickboxing hybrid shows. And you're like, man, if we can keep this momentum going, I know in sheer volume of gyms in Queensland and WA are so much bigger in quantity than Victoria and New South Wales and ACT. But I feel like stylistically and the quality of people we're getting through, our 3 states are starting to really kick off. So
I agree, man. I think same was here. Remember, I think with the whole padded thing, and once we introduced elbow pads, it broke away from a lot of the fear, and people started to understand why we were doing it. And then now, like, yeah, same, like the whole concept of doing full shows, even development days from the get-go, having elbow pads was really foreign. But we still get a couple that are new to the party and ask a little bit about it, but I tend to find that they're more like transitional gyms from MMA or whatnot. But yeah, it's it's the future, man. It's awesome. So good.
It's interesting. I don't know if you've had it, Andrew. I've had a couple of times guys who fight MMA, which they can like get elbowed in the face even on the ground.
Yeah.
Coming into Muay Thai fights, they've asked for Muay Thai fights because they're like, oh, we don't want to do it. And I'm like, man, like getting someone sitting on you, elbowing in the face is less scary than someone standing. Like, take out all the other stuff that can happen to you. It's incredible, eh?
Yeah, they're actually the ones that tend to ask. And man, their sport's the most brutal, you would say, because they can pump it. Oh, that sounds a bit wrong. Pump each other.
Snap your elbow out, or you can.
But yeah, it just all of that, and they're elbowing anyway, standing up. So, but again, I think it's just an educational thing, because maybe in the amateur MMA circles you can't do that. But yeah, I'm always amazed by that. But now they're starting to come along, which is good.
Yeah. And talking about MMA, I was thinking the other day watching the UFC. Can you think of any sporting organization in the world across any sport that is running such a truly international circuit consistently as the UFC?
None.
Like even the Olympics are happening once every 4 years. Watching a UFC card where there's guys from random, like former Soviet, I mean, like even
Georgian.
Sorry?
From my homeland, Georgia.
Georgian fighters, you're so not Georgian. It's not funny.
Nah.
You and Georgia are related like Kieran and Ethiopia are related. It's just...
Hey man, I eat the food. I love Georgian food. Big shout out to my Georgian brothers and sisters out there.
That's why they call me Mr. International, because I eat everything. But yeah, like they've got guys like from Kyrgyzstan, like, you know, Shevchenko's from Kyrgyzstan, and then you've got guys coming from Moldova and like Colombia, literally every country. And I was listening to an interview with my other promoter, Man Crush, Eddie Hearn today, and he was saying how much he started to model what Matchroom does after what the UFC has been doing to help grow it. And like, you know, obviously a lot of the stuff Tom and I have tried to do has been like budget UFC knockoff stuff with like Fight Week and all that sort of stuff. But it always amazes me like, I understand you might not enjoy watching MMA, but amazes me how much people from Muay Thai sometimes put the UFC down. And I'm like, man, it's the great wide hope that fighting can be popular.
I take the piss a lot, but man, you can't argue at all with it. Like, and even when they've tried, the boxing guys have tried to have a go at them and stuff. Like, I know boxing, to me, is still like the big money sport at the top end. Or actually, even down to the development level, like it's still, I think it surpasses all of us, MMA too. But you can't knock them for what they're doing, man. Like, it's just that interview that that Dana put out against old mate was pretty awesome. Oscar, I don't it was pretty awesome, and it was true. Like, it also put it through a few home truths to me too, man, because I always look at boxing as the big money sport, but you know, when he broke it down like that, and if you take a step back and think about the holistic the whole UFC thing and the way they're developing it from bottom up. I mean, you can't argue with that, man.
I thought what he said about the boxing model versus the UFC model was really amazing, where he goes, boxing promotions mostly are run like a going out of business sale, like a fire sale.
Yeah.
It's like,
we're like
just
that.
put up a title, put a bunch of shitty mismatches underneath it, and hope to God that people buy the ticket, and then hope that you can sell them a story again next time. It's like, even for this weekend, watching the Canelo Caleb Plant fight, like, you bought into the hype that, oh, this could be a really good fight. And then I'm like, is it just going to be another one of those fights where Canelo just pumps the fuck out of this dude for 3 rounds?
Yeah. I mean, we've always said it, talking offline, that the ultimate would be, and you've done it, and it's only getting bigger, is that the ultimate is that I want to go to the Rebellion show because I know it's going to be a good show, rather than I want to go to watch A fight B on the Rebellion show. It's like, okay, Rebellion's coming up, I'm just going, and they're supporting the brand and the show and the whole thing, rather than the actual person, which is disappointing, because I mean, we've had it, granted our shows are quite different, but there was a point, it's different now, but there was a point where main event fights who were like the paid ones, like the legit ones that we were paying purses for, were empty, because all the crowd was coming for their first time, second time fighters early on, to the point where we had to put the main event fights kind of Thai style 3/4 of the way through and have a couple of bleacher fights at the end, because it was fucking hard to watch, like top level guys fighting with empty chairs, but we've grown a bit since then as well, but that's shit. So yeah, it's interesting.
And I think I noticed that still the most on the Roots cards, the crowd is still a bit more transitional, where you'll get fight 7 finishes and then like a block of 40 people will leave because they've come in for old mate's first fight. And that's, I mean, the idea of Roots is to capture that first time audience, to get them coming back. And that's the big challenge for us, is if they come in, how do we get them to hang out for the main event of Roots, and then all the Rebellion customers just want to get that transition of like, and especially there's some gyms that aren't at that point of having a Rebellion fighter on, just getting their crowd to hang around and get exposed to that. Because, YouTube views and stuff still, like, I think the most popular fight we've got on YouTube is David Penningbeard versus Complet. Like, it's got like 700,000 views, but most fights get 2,000 or 3,000 views, and that's it. And I'm like, what's the way to capture a new ongoing audience? And that's what the Roots thing is. But yeah, they still kind of come, they watch, and then they head out.
I've never understood that as a concept. If I was to go to a fight show, I want to watch the whole thing. For me personally, I really struggle to understand why you would only go to watch your one person and not the rest of it. I don't know. I really struggle to think that way. I'm like, I want to go at the start and watch the whole show. I don't care.
You're a fight fan. These guys are a mate. That's the difference.
Yeah, but man,
boxing. They spent thousands of dollars to go to the big shows in Vegas and shit, and it's empty until the main, and then fucking wow.
Yeah, you're watching a semi, like the 2 fights out from the main, and it's like, did they sell any tickets to this? Like, did people didn't know it was coming?
Wild.
Oh, what's on this weekend? Anything?
What is on this weekend? Is there one championship on?
I'm just scrolling through some stuff. Joseph is fighting. That little is he Czech boy?
Yeah.
Wang. He's fuck man. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I've been chatting to his dad. I think he's turned 18, so I'm going to try to bring him out next year.
Speaking of trying to match people who can't get matches, and then there's the girls' fight that
What weight is he on? What weight is that Joseph?
Oh man, he's like under 60, isn't he?
Quite small.
126 pounds.
57 kilos.
That'd be an easy one to match.
Is that what it is? 57, Kieran?
Say that again. How many pounds?
126. Is that 57 kilos?
Hang on.
57.2. Yeah, 57.2. Who has an actual calculator anymore? How fucking old are you, man? Are you serious? Who has an actual? Oh,
Because if I'm talking on a phone,
bro,
What are you doing? Are you making offers of membership prices?
got like 3
People coming
membership
in?
prices. What are you doing?
$97. I go, I'm going to take the phone back.
it's like when you go to the markets in Thailand and the fucking ladies in there like, can you go load up?
57 kilos.
In your face, in your face.
But yeah,
and there was a pretty banging card. I'm not sure when it was announced for Lumpini, but I'm not sure when that was. If anyone saw that doing the rounds on
Buri Rum tonight, man. Yeah, here we go. Kumandoi versus Sal. Yeah, that's going to be a good fight. Ah, fuck. Drop my phone. Anyway, sick. Nothing really going on in Australia.
Nothing. Quiet, I think.
Yeah, we're just heading into a little bit of an abyss at the end of November.
It's game time, y'all.
Yeah, it's
we got a gym war.
Gym.
Is this actually happening?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
When
I'm going to Canberra and I asked my kids if they want to come and they said, nah, Dad, it's too boring. Sorry, man.
They don't know what they're missing out on, man.
How do they know?
They don't know what they don't know.
Man, I'm excited. I'm excited.
That's that anti-Canberra propaganda. They're talking about that in school. They didn't want to get bullied or something.
So what's the format and rules of this gym war? That's keeping it, let's hope that the CSAs are one of the 3 people listening to this.
Bare knuckles.
Lots of it
allowed. Just matching them.
Just send it.
2 rounds, 3 rounds.
2 rounds.
Have you guys actually matched this up?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we got good ones.
Yeah.
Will Andrew be keeping up with his traditional PTJ Muay Thai rule set of bringing his own officials, Kieran?
Yeah. He's the referee is going to be Singpayak. The judge is going to be Chalk. Judge 2 is going to be Andrew. He's also going to be the opposing cornerman.
And Jenny
in the middle.
And Jenny, of course, yeah. And me as well. So.
Very, very sensible. If there's any issues, there's going to be an independent panel of Nathan Parnham to view the footage and overall any decisions.
No, but actually it is going to be good. So for the CSA that's tuning in, it's just sparring day between our 2 gyms. We're just having a spar, but we have made some pre-arranged matches, which will be cool. It's cool for some of we obviously don't really get many other sparring partners than just ourselves. So it's a good experience for some of the guys
there's a lot of stuff you guys don't get up there.
Who are about to fight or are due to fight soon. I'm just ignoring
Tourists,
I'm just ignoring you. I'm talking over you now.
Yep.
And then some of the pro guys as well can have a little bit of a crack out. Guys like Max and Davey and the like. And Andy's got guys like Lyndon, Kim, a few others. So
Ivy and Darren are coming down.
Ivy and Darren, yeah, it'll be a cool experience.
Andy, you're coming down to Melbourne when for this official seminar?
Funny you should ask. Hopefully on the 20th, I'll be putting on my white full-length bodysuit and coming down there. Hopefully on the 20th with the combat sports board down there to do a little hoo-ha with Elias, hopefully. So
for especially the Melbourne guys, the combat sports board's been wanting a official seminar down here for a while. Elias has obviously been down previously and done one, and now they're actually flying the 2 of you guys down. It's a 1-day seminar, I believe.
It's going to be a test actually as well. So if they don't pass, unfortunately, you guys aren't going to have too many referees and judges around.
Well, I just got approval today to get Elias and Trevor down for December because A, I miss those guys, but B, we need until more people come through Muay Thai Victoria, and then hopefully some of the officials jump on board and come in. I think, it'll be interesting to see
who shows go down on the Saturday or the Sunday the 12th.
Sorry, what's that?
Are you saying that they're going to come down on the 12th?
of this. No, on the 4th of December.
Okay. Cool.
Why?
Fucking hell.
Oh,
I've got a show on that day.
No, December 4th
Okay.
for Rebellion, not for Muay Thai Victoria. We had Trevor came down for the last one and he was great. So he helped out, but I think we've got a few good guys now to help out. I mean, we've obviously got Abbas and the trainer from Morakat Mart, Ton from my gym, and a couple of other guys can officiate. And then if there's any issues, we're filming it. So we'll send it to someone for independent review. We'll probably get Jeb down. So get him involved. I'm more curious to see who shows up to the to this seminar and to the workshop you guys are doing, and if it's just going to be a matter of a few people show up just to tick a box and satisfy the combat sports board, and if the people who need it will actually show up, and what sort of pushback you might get.
It's sounding like it's compulsory.
Yeah, good.
And if you don't get ticked, then you can't work.
Whack.
That's what we need. Kieran, is there any plans of anything professional happening in Canberra?
Josh and I would like to do it next year. Yeah, absolutely. We would like to do it in the second half of the year.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, we would largely depend. It is going to be, unlike a lot of other states, it will largely depend on involvement from majority out of state gyms. It would be nice to have some of the local gyms here. Obviously there's not that many. It'd be nice to have them involved to some extent, but it will largely
spawn enemies with all the other gyms in Canberra. Who are you actually friends with?
I don't know. Not many people, evidently. And so it is going to rely largely on like interstate help. We'd originally sort of decided on Goulburn as a halfway between Sydney and Canberra, but we would we'd love to do one in Canberra. And the plan is to do one next year.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Today's actually going to be a short one, obviously, guys, because Andy's got hairdresser. Where are you going?
You should do November. Why haven't you done November?
I'm expanding my mind and bettering myself.
Oh, him or me?
I mean, both. I prefer not to see you with them, Mo, but like Andy.
No, you definitely don't want to see me. I have two mustaches. One is I can have, and I'm taxi driver, like the profession, not the movie. And then two, I've got second Mo option, which is automatically ASIO watchdog, and I'm arrested.
Yeah.
After the Cole Cleo thing, I ain't going anywhere near a mustache again.
Head of Iran's nuclear program. That sort of look like.
Yeah. And next year, boys, I'm planning on traveling back to Iran for the first time in 33 years. So you should come with me.
Looking forward to it.
100% promise here online that I won't do a stitch-up job.
Yeah, please.
Can't get
stitched up in Iran, man.
Still waiting for the Sydney visit. It's been fucking 2.5 years. Haven't even been in my gym yet.
I don't like Sydney. I don't know why you think I'm joking. Like I'm pretty clear and consistent about my messaging. I will come to Sydney to see Lewis Regis and go to that Persian restaurant. I'd see no other benefit. And Art, if you're still there, Art, you're wonderful and you're a humanitarian. But yeah, next year we'll go to Iran. We can check out the thriving Muay Thai scene. We can do a tour.
Keen, all on the business.
Love that.
That is when I'll come back at 180 kilos. Just doing another food tour. Awesome, guys. All right, Andy, I know you got to go. Kieran, I don't know what you're going to do. Just go off the screen and cry yourself to sleep or whatever it is you do. What? I don't know what he does with his time.
Oh, he has a job.
I let him get it out. I let him get it out over the messenger before, so I'm happy to cop that, man. That's fine.
Wait, what did I get out over messenger before?
Shut your fucking mouth, man.
All right, guys, on that note,
podcast right now.
Good job. Thanks.
Guys, we'll be back next week with an actual adult guest. Kieran, I'm trying to stop. It's just very hard giving up. I'm trying to cut that coffee, cut that food, and being a
stop that recording button right now. You press that stop record button right now, man.
No consent. No means no, Si.
Tell Kieran, not me. Fuck. Jesus. All right. No, we should clear this up so people don't make any assumptions. No. All right, guys. Thank you
Bye.
very much.
Good chat.
And
Good
I'll
chat.
see you